This is Atheist Lowdown with Mark Vanderbrink.
Hello and welcome to the Lowdown for the week of Friday, July 15th, 2016. Russian President Vladimir Putin recently signed an anti-terrorism bill which expands government control over internet providers and restricts evangelizing to religious properties. The law strengthens the harmonious relationship between the Russian church and state, known as Symphonia. In Putin's post-Soviet Russia, the Orthodox Church continues to enjoy a privileged status. Dr. Jeffrey Davis is attempting to have an Allegheny County courthouse remove a stone monument of the Ten Commandments in Maryland. Davis filed a lawsuit more than 10 years after a first attempt failed. This particular violation of the First Amendment is nothing new or unique, but it does highlight an ongoing issue with an odd history. During the 1950s, a Minnesota judge began distributing the monuments to government centers to help curb what he felt was juvenile delinquency. In trying to find ways to promote his new film, The Ten Commandments, Cecil B. DeMille supported the judge's efforts, and eventually 180 were erected. Now, nearly 60 years later, many of the monuments are allowed to remain because of their supposed historical value. I guess if an ignorant judge and a sleazy ad campaign violate the law long enough, they win.
Let my people go.
The United States House of Representatives held a hearing on the First Amendment Defense Act. H.R. 2802 would, quote, prohibit the federal government from discriminating against an individual due to their religious or moral belief that two people of the same sex should not be permitted to marry or that same-sex marriage should not be recognized. Jim Obergefell, the lead plaintiff in the historic Obergefell v. Hodges, which led to marriage equality last year and was the catalyst for 2802, gave an impassioned speech saying that the bill would make second-class citizens of LGBT individuals.
Religious liberty is a core American value. Everyone in this country is free to believe or not and to live out their faith as they see fit, provided that they do not do so in a way that harms other people. As I see it, this legislation turns this value on its head by permitting discrimination and harm under the guise of religious liberty.
Proponents claim they were simply protecting religious freedom by preempting discrimination by the federal government. The Republican National Convention will be held beginning July 18th in Cleveland, Ohio. Ahead of the event, the RNC is drafting its platform. Of secular concern is a long list of anti-LGBT positions, including support for gay conversion therapy and transgender bathroom laws. There are also calls for the teaching of the Bible in schools and that lawmakers use religion as a policy guide to ensure, quote, that man-made law must be consistent with God-given natural rights. The 2016 Secular Student Alliance Conference was held last weekend in Columbus, Ohio, ahead of the RNC convention. According to organizers, it was an event where, quote, hundreds of secular students and community leaders gather to share ideas and learn from each other. Unlike many other conferences in the secular movement, SSA's conference's primary goal is to train student leaders and activists from across the United States in grassroots organizing and leadership skills. Workshops included tips on how to fundraise, avoid activist burnout, and lobby for secular legislation. 3 panels were held on topics as far-ranging as the pitfalls and potential of interfaith communication and cooperation, building coalitions with other like-minded groups, and the importance of reproductive justice. Wanting to learn more about the atmosphere and trends of the convention, I contacted several of the attendees. Author and secular sexuality podcaster Daryl Ray, who led a workshop on leadership and group dynamics, said, the real news item was the Ark Encounter protest, which went off very well and seemed to get a lot of attention. He also noticed that social justice in general was more important and on the front burner than in past conventions, specifically with regard to Black Lives Matter, the Dallas police murders, and the Orlando mass shooting. President of Long Island Atheists, Thomas Sheedy, told me that there were many new people and everyone seemed optimistic. He was particularly inspired by Larry Decker's passion as a new activist for the Secular Coalition for America. Sheedy said that future events could be improved by putting an emphasis on individual student activism and working with local atheist groups, which he feels would put students in a better position to continue activism beyond college. That's our show for this week. If you think you have a secular news item everyone should know about, go ahead and email us or comment below. Thanks for watching.